Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's Edie Blue here on behalf of IndieFlow. And I'd just like to welcome you to our 10th industry session. Woo! We've almost made it a whole year. And super excited about today's conversation. We're going to be talking with IndieFlow's head of artist relations, Laura Katana. And her and I will be sharing some best practices and strategies to help you really ace your release day and do it with grace and ease. So let me know. What's up, Quasimo? What's up, James and Jason? Drop an emoji in the chat if you're feeling good. Tell us where you're tuning in from. And I'm going to go ahead and get Laura Katana up on the stage. Hi, Desiree Nicole Lester. One of my favorites. All right. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Elena. So good to see you all on here. All right. Laura, are you here with us?
I think I am, but why am I not?
Yeah, just don't see your gorgeous face. That's all. All right, let me try to get Laura back up on screen. Sending you another invite. Just bear with us, y'all. What's up, David? Good to see you. New Jersey, Quasimo from New Jersey. We've got some people from Clayton, North Carolina, retired from Brooklyn, New York Fire Police Department. Police Department. All right, Laura, are you with us?
Yes. Hold on. Something is going crazy. Why? And I don't know why.
It's all right. We've got some time. So everybody, we're talking about release strategies today. So, let me know. Yes, do you have a release coming up or, a release coming up for this year or next year? Hey.
Hi.
There you are.
I am. Just ignore. Hey, everybody. Sorry for those technical difficulties.
It's okay. That's the tech challenges happen all the time when you're in computer meetings and Zoom calls and all the things. So cool. Stacy said she's in the mixing stage. Amazing. Mike's got a live record and a bunch of singles ready to go. David, a couple singles in production now, releasing the new year. Definitely recommending, if you guys want to get your release in, want to get it in the next few weeks, or probably wait till the beginning of 2023, just because the holiday time is when most businesses are spending the most amount of money on advertising. And where's people's mindset? It's on holiday music. So
if it's not Mariah Carey, we don't want to hear it. Just kidding.
It's Mariah Carey season, y'all. For 2 releases on the way. Oh, I cannot wait to hear those. Alexa's got a single ready and working on finishing a couple others. Okay, so you all have music to be released. So that is super exciting. And with that in mind, I think let's dive right into it. Howdy, y'all. Billy from Eugene. Be Willie. Just FYI, y'all, Mariah Carey is almost completely defrosted. Okay. Y'all are cracking us up over here. So if you have questions, you can always put them in the chat or preferably go to the ask a question button at the bottom of your screen, drop them there, and that way we know we won't miss them. So, alrighty, let's go ahead and get started. So as I mentioned, today we're really going to be talking about the top things that you need to do on release day. If you all are like me, I've released music and sometimes that release day comes and I'm just like a ball of stress because I just don't know what I should do on that day. So that's what we're going to get into today.
So everybody take some notes because this is going to be some good stuff.
Yeah. All right. So Laura, the first thing I know we want to talk about is how to let people know you have music out, right? You want to make it easy for them. So what's the easiest way that you can kind of let people know that you've got music out?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to maybe also open up just a little visual for you guys to see something real quick. Can everybody see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oops, we don't need to see that, but I don't know how to get rid of it. So that's it.
All right.
Yeah.
So we can, yes.
Okay, cool. So these are the three main points that we're gonna dive into, and we're gonna go deep, and we're gonna get specific. But best way really to help everybody know what you've got going on. People listen on different streaming platforms. I'm a Spotify girl. Maybe somebody's an Apple Music kind of person. That's where smart links come in. Okay. Smart links I'm sure you're all familiar with it, and hopefully you've used some of it before, but it's one link that you can share across all of your platforms, and we'll get into where specifically, that people can use, and it allows them to stream on whatever platform they prefer. Okay. This is kind of obvious, right? You want to make it easy for people.
Yes.
Right? People don't want to have to take too many steps. We have very, short attention spans. So it might seem like a small detail, but it's really, really important.
Absolutely.
Okay? Have any of you guys tried making release links before, either in general or maybe on IndieFlow? We'll get into that in a second.
Yeah, just let us know in the chat. You can say yes, any service that you've used.
Yeah. Oh, so many people here. Okay. While you guys are chiming in. So here are the main places that you want to make sure you have your release link posted. Okay. Your Instagram profile, right? In the you have one spot for a link. That's a link that you change often. Okay. So definitely always want to make sure that link is relevant to what you've got going on. Okay.
Which is why on release day, you want it to be stream my new music.
Yeah.
And share exactly where people can do that.
Exactly. Now everybody can share links in their Instagram stories, right? We don't need to have over 10,000 followers anymore. So that's a link you should be sharing multiple times on release day. Find creative ways to do it. Don't just post 5 stories in a row. No single out now, share something about, well, we'll get into content in a little bit later.
Yeah.
That's the link. Your smart link is something that you're going to use also when you send DMs. You can message people directly, whether it's in, as a text message, a DM in your Instagram, in your Facebook, whatever platform you're using, that's the link that you want to share. Okay. Edie, do you want to give do we want to,
etiquette?
Yep. Very important. Listen up.
So, and I just want to answer, like Francis said, what's the advantage over Linktree? So Laura mentioned you want to change your Instagram profile link pretty regularly. So on release day, you definitely want it to go to your newest release. Like that's the call to action. So having that release link that takes people there on release day, and probably the next week or two after, where you're still in that heavy promotional period. After that, that's when you might want to change to like a link tree that links to, an event that you're having and your music and your website. But remember that when it's release day, your call to action, the thing you're marketing is your new music. So you want to make it as easy as possible for people to listen to. And yes, let's talk about etiquette, because Laura can probably attest and has a similar experience being in the music industry. We have a lot of artists who reach out and want to share their new music or share what they're working on. What we want to avoid when we're sharing our new music is something called spam. And you might think, well, my new music is not spam. No, it's not. Your music is great. But if you just send someone a link with no context, then that's when it becomes that spammy type of message. So when you're sending this link out, whether you DM it in your Instagram to some people in your Instagram, or you text it out to friends, or you email it to people, include some context and include some appreciation. Okay. Let someone know that you see them. And so it could be as simple as, hey, I hope you're well. I'm really excited to announce my new single. I think it will help people who, if you love to dance, then you'll like this song. Or if you want a moody ballad that makes you feel vulnerable, listen to this song. Give them a little something that tells them what's in it for them besides just supporting you in your new music. This
And
is so important. Go ahead,
makes me
Laura.
curious. Those examples you gave are excellent. Like, something for this type of a mood that already makes me be like, ooh, what could that be?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. And let them know that you appreciate them taking the time to listen, and it's no pressure. So the last thing you want to do is just send someone a link and say, new music out now.
I will tell you also, that is an immediate delete for me.
Same.
Like, I'm so annoyed at the lack of thought that I don't even want to listen to it anymore.
Yeah.
It like actually is off-putting.
Yeah. So be polite. Remember your manners, people. Remember your manners. Please and thank you go a long way. OJ Mountain says the same. Exactly. Exactly.
And
Think of yourself.
The other thing to be careful of also is like really put in the effort. And it's not that much effort to make that message personal, right? If you're not respecting me and my time by just doing like a sloppy copy and paste, why should I respect your music? And even if that's not a conscious thought, that's how that makes people feel, I think.
Yeah. I think etiquette is just as important as the tools you use, because etiquette will get you further, I think, almost than tools, if you are polite and know how to make people feel good when you're reaching out to them.
Dude, I agree 100%. Maybe, okay, the last thing to go back here for a second. So the one of the last places you want to make sure that you have, or that you use your smart link, is if you have a newsletter. Are you sending out, maybe it's a really casual newsletter that you're literally just writing in your Gmail. Maybe you use something like MailChimp or Constant Contact, whatever it is. But again, that's the one link that you want to use, and that consistency is pretty important. We can go into, maybe if you guys have more questions about any of those in particular, what is in a newsletter, etc. Drop some questions if you have those. Otherwise, let me show you how you guys can all use the IndieFlow platform to make a release link. So I'm going to do some complicated technological things and figure out how to stop sharing the screen. Okay, there we go. I've got this. Give me 1 second while I show you guys. Yeah. Now, if you guys are already IndieFlow members, this is hopefully going to be, hopefully you've already seen this. Okay, here we go. Everybody can see my screen again. Yes. So this is where you're going to get your release link. Sorry, let me open that up. So you guys will come over here into the promotions tab. Smart pages is what we've called, and you can come up here on the top right and either make a release link or an EPK. We'll talk about EPK in a little bit later today. So your release link, okay? Super simple. Come up here to create a new link. Your first thing they're going to ask you to do is to put in a link. So let's go to our, just the little artist that we
both love. Yeah, shout out to Milan. Not sure if Milan's here today, but he's a great artist for y'all to check out.
Definitely. Okay, here you go. So you're going to drop in your Spotify link, and then great. It's going to automatically populate the cover art, and super simple. You're just going to go in and drop in some of your links. Let me show you one that I've already got here. Nice and final. That looks beautiful. Can you guys see this? Yes. So this is what the link is. Oh, sorry, I lied.
That's the EPK.
But that is the EPK. Give me a second.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Here we go. All right, so this is what your final product is going to look like. Everybody can come in here, stream whichever platform of their choice. You can also throw in a website link. It's really simple. You saw I just made that in 2 seconds. And what's pretty cool is that you also are able to, let me show you. You can also make, you can edit. Sorry, this is a lot happening here. What's cool is that you can come up here and also edit the URL. You can customize it, which is important. So that's that. Pretty simple. Have either anybody here made a release link with IndieFlow yet?
And if you have, go ahead and drop it in the chat and let us know where we can check out your music.
Oh yeah, it's okay to spam us right now with your release links.
Totally okay.
All right, so that does anybody have any questions about how deep can you get in editing the URL? You have 15 what is it, characters. Is that what you meant by that question?
I think so. And yeah, and so remember, y'all, we're talking about like what to do on release day. You don't have the link to your Spotify, to that new single on all these platforms until release day. So when it is release day, just make that part of your practice of, I create my release link on release day and share it in these ways. You know, you don't have to do all the ways that Laura and I talked about, but I definitely, recommend for those of you who haven't started an email list or a text message list, start one, because you want to have direct access to your fans and followers.
Tell them what happened to you the other day when you logged into your Instagram.
Oh, I got suspended from my account, y'all, on Monday, and for nothing. I hadn't posted in 3 days, I think. And I logged in Monday and clicked on my messages, and then it just popped up, suspended from my account. I did regain access a few hours later, but I felt like it was an important message, honestly, to remember that, you don't have control necessarily over your social media. You're putting that into these other companies.
Mm-hmm.
So, having direct contact, either email or SMS, is super important, because that is your direct link to your fans. And even if it's only 10 people, those 10 people want to hear from you. Mm-hmm. Candace, who do you recommend for SMS? There's a really cool company called Laylo, Laylo. Check them out. And also Community is another company for text message marketing. Laylo is specific for artists and musicians, though.
And maybe I'll just add something in here real quick. This is kind of, I think we weren't totally planning on discussing this. And also, yeah, Mike, you're right. Lots of people got suspended. It was like an Instagram bug. But anyways, it was a good lesson to learn.
It was.
So SMS marketing is a great, if you're doing that, right? Which, do it if you have the bandwidth to really, commit and engage. And if you have specific questions about that, let us know. But it's that would be a great thing, a great place to share your release link on release day as well. So here's just an example of how you might use something like SMS texting. A lot of people, pre-saves, everybody talks about pre-saves, blah, blah, blah. I'm personally not a big fan of pre-saves. I think pre-saves are only effective if you already have a large audience, right? Because let's say you have 50,000 followers. Of those 50,000 followers, truly a small amount of them are going to actually click through the pre-save link, because I don't understand why it ends up, you have to sign in here. There's too many steps along the way and people just get lost. I rarely actually, to success, click on a pre-save link, if I'm being honest.
Me too. I try, and then then
it's like, what's
more information from me? And I'm like, I don't need it.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what you want to do is, I think that communicating with people via text is just so much more effective. Think of you guys, how attached to your phone are you? You're probably a lot more likely to respond to a text message than maybe even a newsletter, right? Again, you know your audience better than we do. Okay. But something you could do, let's say if you're doing SMS texting, is maybe in the prep, in the, the hype leading up to the release, okay, you use your social media and you maybe do some sort of, you offer a little treat. This is what I would do, okay? Text me at this number, and that's the Laylo number that you have set up. You just say, text me, and I'll give you an unreleased track, or I'll send you a personalized video, or dangle a carrot, whatever you think will motivate your fans, okay? Get them to text you. That way you get their phone numbers, right? And then imagine maybe the next week on what's actually the release day, you already have their phone numbers. They've just received a gift from you. They're all hyped, like, yo, my favorite artist texted me, how cool. And then on release day, you send everybody another message and you say, hey man, my song dropped today. Do me a favor. Could you just go stream it, or could you go listen or like it or share it or whatever?
Or save it.
Save it, exactly. You will get so much more engagement that way. So something worth trying. That was a mouthful, sorry.
No, that was good. That was really good. Yeah. Because, fan engagement, y'all, there's no one way to do fan engagement. It's not, there's not one formula that you can follow, because your audience is going to be different from another person's audience. The important thing is to really dial in on who your audience is, so you can focus on their needs, wants, desires, to make content for them, to share things with them in a way that they will receive. And, if you're not building your community online, I hope you're building it in person by performing, getting out there, networking.
So that just made me think of also, and maybe this is obvious, but I would encourage you all to really consciously think, what do you want from your favorite artists? If you get, kind of spammy DMs, doesn't that annoy you also? So don't do that. If you would be annoyed by that, what kind of stuff would you love to get from your favorite artist? Maybe that little, incentive to give them to either, give you their email or their phone number, whatever it is. Maybe you're working on a song and it's not finished yet, and you want to send them, they can just stream it and hear, an in progress song. How cool is that? I would love to hear that. So put yourself in your fans' shoes.
Yeah. Also, I'll say that, a contest could also be a way to gather numbers for your email or text message list. You see contests all the time happening on Instagram, giving away something small. People get really excited about contests.
Or maybe, a giveaway. OJ, do. I've seen you with your giveaways. What did you do? You did a Dunkin' Donuts one, something? What? Yeah, there was some, or maybe, wait, why do I have some association with Dunkin'? Was it Dunkin'?
I don't know. But he said, even if it's a $10 gift card, and that's so true. Buy a $10 gift card, $20 gift card, have it as a giveaway for anyone who signs up on your email list in the week before your release, or in the 2 weeks before your release.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, make that gift card. I mean, OJ, look, the Dunkin' Donuts, it's stuck in my head. I remember that was months ago, but think of something that would be particularly interesting to your fan base. What are your fans into? Maybe, that all your fans are really into donkeys, or maybe, I don't know, maybe they, whatever, you guys can.
Maybe they're into crystals and spirituality, so you give them rose quartzes. You like,
maybe, or a dispensary gift card or something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot out there. It's use your creativity. Y'all are creatives. Use your creativity here. Sneakers. Would sneakers work? Yes, Milan. Let me know when you drop that contest. I'll be entering. But that's a really great idea.
And also, how can we leverage college radio contacts?
In the sense of a release? Well, so with college radio and any radio, I will say, this is kind of a sidebar, so I'll make this quick. One, make sure you're really genre specific, because radio stations really classify artists in terms of genre. They really want to fit you in somewhere. College radio contacts, if they have a placement, check out what their programming is. Is there a place in their programming that your music could fit into? Maybe it's a local release hour. Maybe it's an underground hip hop hour. Check out what their programming is. See if there's a place for your music. Alternatively, or in addition to, you could also, offer to do an in-person performance as like a part of a promotional tour. So just want to throw a few of those things out there. And I think we should talk about content.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
Let's keep it moving. I'm actually just gonna add one last thing. Desiree, to your point. Yeah, a personal thank you. One of the artists that I used to manage would get DMs from fans all the time being like, can you, send a video message and dedicate this romantic song to my girlfriend? And people ask for that all the time. You have no idea how happy that would make people.
Wow.
You would, oh, hey, to so-and-so, this song is for you. And then just like, a cappella, a verse or something. But yeah, again, depends on
cool offering idea, Laura. I think there's a company out there now that does some sort of like video. Yeah.
What is it? Cameo.
Okay. Next industry section. Well, not, but.
Right. All right. So moving on, let's talk about content. I'm going to bring up, you should all have a copy of this already. And if you don't, let us know, we can drop a link. But has everybody seen this content checklist that we made? Maybe I should just add a question. Hold on. I saw that also, sorry, I'm all over the place, but Taquil, why don't you, I missed your question. Will you put it in the ask a question area? So I'm not sure.
So we can see it. Yeah.
And we will do our best to answer. Okay, maybe also, Edie, maybe you can grab a link of this while I kind of start chatting.
A link of the content?
Yeah.
Checklist?
Yes. Do you have it?
I have it as a PDF. I don't have it.
Well, I'll send it in. I have it as a link. Don't worry. I'll see. So here for now, this is something that we put together for you guys. It's pretty thorough. It's a content checklist. We broke it down into pre-release, day of release, and then post-release. I think maybe, do you want to start just talking about day of release?
Yeah, let's just focus on day of release.
Okay. And you guys all get a copy of this so you can go through the other elements. Okay?
Yeah. Yes, we'll get you all that checklist. Don't worry.
Yes.
So day of release, thinking about content, there's lots of things you can do. And again, it does come back to knowing your audience and what they're going to like to hear from you. So, first, as an artist engaging with social media, you want to make sure you know which platforms you are focused on. So instead of trying to cover all of them, unless you've got your team and you're already engaging on all the platforms, focus on one or two. Maybe that's TikTok and Instagram, or Twitter and Instagram. Mm-hmm. You definitely want to have a post of, the release, the announcement of the release. If you've shared your artwork before, maybe that's a personal video of you letting people know that your music came out today. Maybe it's behind the scenes picture with, some copy around how this music came together, how we got to this day of release day. Maybe it is the album artwork. I definitely think album artwork should be shared. Mm-hmm. And on release day, Laura, what do you think? Should people make more than one post on release day?
Yes. I think you should. If you can, I think you should. And I think that thinking also kind of comes from, think of the way thinking of Instagram for a second, okay? Think of the way that your Instagram feed is going to look, and I'll show you some great examples. But I kind of like to think about a release, think of it like 9 Instagram posts, okay? Or 6 or 12, whatever it is, but lay it out like that. So thinking of Instagram, your release day could be 3 posts. And ideally, they look good next to one another. Again, Instagram is about visuals, right? So you always want to think of what is your wall, your feed, what is it called?
Yeah, your feed. Your feed.
Your feed, okay. What is it? Your grid. That's what it's called. Sorry, it's Facebook. Yeah. What does that look like visually? So yeah, I would opt for making multiple, like 3 posts on release day. But where you can really have fun and be super active is on your stories on Instagram. Okay. Stories. And again, thinking of the algorithm, there you go. Alexa, great point. Yep. Ariana Grande, 9 posts. That 9 is very much on purpose, right? So think of Instagram stories. In order to get people to really engage with them, you got to use the tools that Instagram gives you. Okay. Ask a question that gets people to click and answer, do a poll, that gets people to, do a little slider thing. Anything that you can do to literally get people to not just look, but to engage. Right. Maybe you guys have some examples of things that you've done in the past that would be helpful to share.
I'd like to add a point too of remember, just like we talked about etiquette when you're like sharing it directly with someone, your posts, new music out now, it's not enough.
Who cares?
Again, with 100,000 songs dropping a day on Spotify, new music out now is not enough unless you're Beyonce. So like, tell a little story. Your artist story is really what you're sharing when you release new music. And how does this song tell your artist story? Who is this song for? Why did you write it? What does it mean to you? What could it mean for other people? What's the spirit animal of this song? Like, there are many ways to get creative around how you describe your music and how you present it to other people.
And another, to add on to that, maybe some of the copy has some sort of, maybe make some statement that's real attention grabby. Maybe your post is, I bet you won't hate this song, or I bet this song will make you cry, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So we've got some conversation going.
Yeah.
So yeah, and again, the you do want to communicate that yes, now this song is out now and people can listen to it, but that shouldn't be the only thing that you say, right? Again,
also, I was going to say, make sure that if you're on Instagram and people are sharing about your music on release day, make sure you reshare in your stories what other people are sharing. So someone else might share your release in their story, and make sure you just reshare it. Thank them. This is a day to be active on social media.
Great point, Edie. And not just to reshare. Yes, thank them in the messages. Thanks so much for sharing. Again, think of you. If your favorite artist is responding to you saying, thanks for listening, man, how cool, right? You want to build that connection. And also, if you reshare something on your stories, and this is something I used to always yell at my artists about, don't just repost it because that's a little boring. Add a little comment, add a little, a GIF or a little something, not just like a blind reshare. That's lazy,
Yeah.
And do we...
So we want to talk about headers real quick too?
Yes. Headers are maybe not the most exciting. Maybe, I think to me, sometimes it can feel a little bit like busy work, but it's important. So when we talk about headers on your Facebook page, you've got a long image, right? On your, where else? On your YouTube channel, on your, we have, what am I missing? Twitter, if you do Twitter, Bandcamp. They're literally everywhere that you have a profile. It's super important that all of your imagery is consistent, right? So it's release day. Everything should now everywhere be hyping the release. It's out now. You can, it dropped this day. And ideally that graphic is branded, right? It should be, maybe it's just the cover art of your, of the project, but formatted obviously to be header size.
And this is something you can do prior to release day, but the action of updating the places should happen on release day.
Yes, exactly. And actually, to that point, Edie, all of this content, with the exception of probably stories, all of these visuals, you got to make ahead of time. Why do you have to make it ahead of time? Because I promise you, you just won't get it all done if you're trying to wing it day of. You just won't. Right. And also, why would you do that to yourself? Why would you give yourself that much, stress on release day? You want to be organized so that you can spend, that your mindset on release day is about engaging, reacting, responding, etc. And David, to your point, look, visuals, let me say this also. I think you should really set yourself up for success as far as visuals go. If you're not a graphic designer, if you don't have a budget for a graphic designer, go simple, go super simple. There's so many, honestly, I would even go find some cover art of songs that you like and use them as inspiration. Oftentimes just a great photo of you or the band with some simple, just the name of the song underneath it. And that could be totally fine. Maybe you're super into art. Maybe being artsy is part of your brand. Maybe, you do want to really make the artwork a piece of art, something you would want to sell as a poster. That's some of your merch, your limited edition merch around release time. But you can go either way. It doesn't have to, your artwork doesn't have to be a masterful piece of art, I think. And yes, Mike, that's a great idea. A header template in Photoshop. Photoshop is even a step up. You guys all know about Canva. Canva is Photoshop for dummies.
Yes, and we love it over here.
I pay $12 a month to have a pro account. It's some of the best $12 I spend in the month. It gives you so many options. You can do so much. And yeah, set a template up in there. There's already a ton you can work with. Again, we're independent artists. You got to use all the resources available to you. And there's tons of tools to make your life easier. So let's focus on, we're trying to simplify your lives, not make them more complicated, right?
Yeah. And when you all think about like creating your content beforehand, just want to throw in there that you have unlimited file storage if you're an IndieFlow member. So it's a great tool to help you organize the content around your release, because we got to do that.
Hell yeah. And actually, maybe I will also just throw in, I love how many familiar names we're seeing here in the chat, but if anybody is not yet an IndieFlow member, we've got our little link right below this. It says get started for $20. We have monthly memberships now. I know you all spend more than $20 on way less useful things. So hit that link below.
Definitely.
If you haven't seen that yet. And yes, gosh, all the comments in the chat here are so on point. OJ, exactly. Play to your strengths. Again, set yourself up for success. Don't try and learn Photoshop overnight, because you probably have other things that are more important.
I want to share one quick thing about content that I learned from Tianda and Cade, who were guests for our April industry session on TikTok. Great industry session. Watch that if you get a chance and want to activate your TikTok. Something I learned in their course was that, think of content like a song. You have to start with a good song. If you have a terrible song, but you put on great production, and it's still going to end up a terrible song. But if you have a great song, I know we've all heard a great song sung acoustically or without minimal production, but the song is so good, it doesn't matter. Right. It doesn't matter. The same is true with content, y'all. You could have the most best camera with perfectly edited, graphics and features. But if the idea behind the content isn't good, it's not going to be great content. And we
Mhm.
all have been on TikTok, Instagram. Some of the content that, people love is just people talking at their phone and being real.
Yeah.
So just remember, when it comes to content, it's not about all the fancy editing. It's about the idea itself. Is the content idea engaging?
Yes.
If so, you're not going to need all the fancy tools, editing, etc. So,
And that's a great segue. I want to show you guys an Instagram account of an artist that we are both very big fans of. And I want to show you, I know for a fact this artist did not have a fancy budget. And I'm pretty sure this artist did everything themselves. It doesn't take much to make things look good. Just, you have so many resources at your fingertips. Okay, so here, can you guys see my screen?
yes.
If you're in here, Milan, I hope you're not going to be embarrassed, but
He is not. He is.
He's not. Okay, look. So check this out. Oops, sorry. Just a quick scan. Just looking at the Instagram. First of all, everything looks so branded. There's similar colors. Everything kind of looks this looks like an artist's account, right?
Immediately this person is an artist.
And so look at the way that he rolled out. I thought this was really well done. Okay, I'm going to go backwards. So this is the first post. Okay. He's just teasing this song. Okay. We don't know what it is, but you can feel something's coming, right? He's talking about Lemonade. Also very clever use of, using an interesting location. That could be part of, you have a unique location that you're, adding to all of the photos during this time. And then maybe there's some sort of an event that happens at that location. I don't know. Next post. Look, this I'm certain was done on an app. I bet it didn't require anything fancy, but it's a different variation. It's using that same content and repurposing it, right? And again, text copy that's kind of leading, something is coming, right? Next, now we're like making the announcement. Can you? My niggas show up, my ladies blow up, you guys hear the audio, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's so simple. It's just a close-up of his face. He's rapping. We're engaged. He's got that same cup from the lemonade. There's a consistency. Monday's on the way. He's got his unique hashtags. It's so obviously planned out, a little bit more. Now he added some lyrics. Okay. That's super engaging also. Now he's actually, this is announcing it. And look, before he says out now on all platforms, there's something really personal that like, Auntie, I'm so connected now. I know that there's something behind this. Right. I just think it was so, oh, you can't hear or see anything. Oh, well, well, you'll watch the recording afterwards, but yeah. We think you're the GOAT also. But anyways, I would really encourage you guys, go check out Milan's Instagram. It's just really well thought out. There's a music video also that goes along with this track that I think is super dope. It's simple, it's branded. I think it's really well done.
Me too.
Over how many days did these videos come out? That's a very good question. Let's see. He started this on September 28th. And then this keeps going. This is still Along Came Moo Moo, right? So I think about to like 3 weeks, which is great. He also kept hyping it up after the release date, which is super important also. Don't just forget, fall off on release day. You gotta keep going. There's post-release as well.
Yeah. And especially if you are utilizing TikTok as one of your platforms, seriously, y'all, I've taken enough TikTok courses to know that you can promote a song indefinitely on TikTok. Just find new creative ways to share about that song. So whether it's the day of release or 10 months down the line, that music is still viable. on TikTok.
Definitely. Also, Eric, great question. Yes. So I want to show you guys something also on the IndieFlow platform. This is a new feature that we rolled out. Not sure if everybody has seen it, but you can come here on the dashboard, go to create a video, and we can help you make some, simple graphics. So whether it's a Spotify Canvas video, which is that 7-second video that plays on your phone on Spotify when you're listening to music, a lyric video, or just kind of a short promo video. So again, you should definitely, if you guys haven't checked this out yet, check it out, submit it. It's super super simple to use, and again, it's just the goal is to make your life easier, right? Use all of the resources. You find little shortcuts, find ways to make your rollouts more efficient.
Awesome. So let's talk about, we said 3 things you want to do on release day. We talked about, sharing your release link to the music, allowing listeners to listen where they prefer to stream music, posting your content and staying active. And the third thing we wanted to talk about, this is, again, what you're doing on release day, is update your bios on all your platforms to say that your new project is out. So places you might want to update: your Spotify for Artists bio, your Spotify for Artist pick.
Yeah, the artist pick.
Yes. Your website, your IG profile. Let's see. I can't read what it says under there, Laura.
The Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, but it's about making all of the language consistent across all of your different ways and all of your different platforms. And what you guys should do is, if you haven't already, and actually there's a tool to help you do this on the IndieFlow platform as well, make a list. Where are all of the places that you have your music shared? What are your platforms? Maybe you don't have a Twitter, so okay, forget Twitter, but literally make a list. You're not gonna remember it on your own on release day.
No, you won't.
Okay, so make that list and put that into your release plan. So every on release day, you're just checking off all the things that you need to do.
Yes. And so what about after release day, Laura? Actually, before we move on, I know there was a question in here about Spotify from Zenobia. If you're new to Spotify and it's your first time releasing music, when do you get your Spotify artist link? That's a great question. So you can't claim your Spotify for Artist profile until you release a song. So once you release that first single, then you can claim your Spotify for Artist page, which you do directly with Spotify. You basically set up an account, and then you're able to update your bio, choose your artist pick, update photo images related to your account, as well as link your social pages to your Spotify as well.
Wait, actually, hold on one second, because I literally just did this yesterday. If you have not yet claimed let me show you my screen. If you haven't claimed your Spotify for Artist profile yet, and you have not yet released your first song, you can see this, right? Mm-hmm. Look, what you're going to do when you go to artist.spotify.com, you're going to come over here to get access. Okay. And then you're going to say, let's say you're the artist. If your song isn't out yet, actually, you can go here, music not yet live on Spotify, and it's going to ask you to ask your distributor, okay, for there's a link. Hold on. What is it called? It's the UI. Anyways, it is possible. You would have to email your distributor and have them send you a special link to get things going.
Cool. I didn't know that. I feel did they just change that or make that available? Because not sure. Okay.
But we learn something new every day.
Good to know. Good to know. All right.
Okay. So sorry. And also I want to make sure I see your take, Quill. I think David already answered it, but releasing music at the end of the year, me personally, I wouldn't do, my cutoff would be Thanksgiving. I wouldn't release anything after Thanksgiving. Personally. Can you do it? You are your own boss. You can do whatever you want. Is it recommended? No.
Yeah.
And I would even really, I mean, I think November, December, November is already complicated. So I would honestly, I don't know that I would encourage you to stay away from November as well.
I would focus November and December on merchandising, y'all, because that's when people are spending the most money. So if
Yeah.
you've got your drops in September, October, November is about pushing a call to action that is around merchandise or listening or promoting, not necessarily something new, unless it's a holiday tune. And, of course,
Yeah.
then
That's a
release it. Yeah.
I know we have another thing to cover, but I just want to, I see Vivek's question, what about ads, which I'll just make if you are running ads on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Google, whatever, then yes, absolutely. Release day, there's some tasks you need to do with that as well. So generally speaking, with ads, the ad you run on, what you could do is run some ads leading up to release day. Okay. In which case you would, you'd have to be conscious of where you're going to send people. What link do you want them to click on? But promoting before the release is probably only for your existing fans, because people who haven't heard of you yet don't care that you have a song coming out yet. They might care when it's actually out.
Yeah.
So yeah, the ads you run should be really specific to it's out now, but again, not just saying it's out now. Having some sort of compelling caption that somebody who doesn't yet know you would feel inclined to click on. This song is for everybody who's had a heartbreak or who's had their heart broken. Something that I don't know you, but I can relate to having my heart broken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. So those are what we wanted to cover about release day. Some of you are like, okay, great. What's next? So, I think Laura and I already mentioned promoting your music doesn't stop on release day. You keep promoting through your content, through direct communication with people. But also you might be promoting by wanting to book a tour or do more live shows. Mm-hmm. So we just wanted to share with you one of the tools that IndieFlow provides to help you do that, which is our EPK builder.
Yes. So I'm going to show you in a second what our EPK looks like. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just see a question from OJ. Can you change release dates on IndieFlow? Because I have 2 drops in November or December. Yes, OJ, just email our team. I'll put it right under your comment, team@indieflow.me. Unique EPK, electronic press kit. We're talking about an electronic press kit. It's basically how you communicate who you are to a music industry professional. All right. So this is a little different than how you might communicate with your fans. This is who you are to a booking agent or maybe a media outlet that you're, wanting to get coverage with.
And important, yeah, your EPK is generally not something that your fans are going to see. Maybe it is. And, maybe you have a really creative EPK, but really it's just for industry folks. So let me share my screen again. I'll show you what the IndieFlow EPK looks like. Can you guys see this? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So sorry, let me open up the preview actually, and I'll just make it. So super simple. You can also think of an EPK kind of like a resume. So a quick overview. So here is the artist. We've got their genres listed here. This is kind of a little quick elevator pitch, just something to really give you an immediate idea of who the artist is. We've got links to all of their socials. An EPK, they want to hear your music. They want to see what you look like. They want to see, they want to learn more about you. So you're able to.
They want your numbers too.
And they want your numbers.
Meaning how many people are following you on these social pages and listening to you on these streaming services.
Exactly.
So says my EPK has kept me booked all year. Oh, woo,
I love that. Amazing.
Please drop a link and share it with us if you feel comfortable, Afua.
So yeah, you've got a spot they can stream music, videos. Also, here's a tip on your EPK. You generally, it's not exactly a music video that they want to see. What they really want to see is how you perform live if you're using this EPK for the purpose of getting shows, right? So
yes,
you might keep that in mind. We've got a spot for the bio, can learn a little bit more about the artist, and then articles if you have any, notable press. So very simple. That's what your EPK should look like. Really easy. You can see this now, right? Also, this is how you would edit it. It's just super simple. You're going to drop in your links, drag over your songs. You can upload directly from here or from your project. It's pretty intuitive to use. So definitely recommend you guys add an EPK to your toolbox.
Amazing. All right, y'all. Well, we just have a few minutes left. So please drop any questions. Let me just make sure that we've answered questions that have been asked. Can you change? Yes.
And everybody got the, I'll email it to you all as well. Actually, I'll make sure that everybody has, especially for folks who are maybe listening in on YouTube later, I'll make sure that everybody has our content checklist. Like I said, we just went over the day of release. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there, pre-release and post-release. I think it's pretty helpful. But let me just say this also, they're just guidelines, okay? You do what you want. You are in control of your story. You are in control of your career. Take what we're suggesting and build off of it, I would say.
Amazing. All right, y'all. Well, if there are no other questions, I think we can declare this industry session complete. Thank you, gorgeous beings. Desiree Nicole Lester, I love you. This was super in-depth. Oh, bless you, JB. So grateful for you too.
Let me say also, sorry.
Oh, I'm just reading all the hype in the chat. So go ahead.
Hey, I was going to say, if you guys want to continue this conversation, IndieFlow members, office hours is the place to do that over in our Discord community. And again, if you're not yet part of the fam, you've got a little link down there to get started. It's just $20 a month.
Wonderful. Thank you, David. Oh, thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate y'all. And yeah, we'll talk to y'all soon. And
see you on the internets.
See you on the internets. Let's go ahead and log off in 3, 2, and 1.